I've learned here that there are opportunities that God gives you, and it's up to you to grab them or to leave them.
I never thought I'd ever go to school, and now I do. And after high school, I want to study psychology.
In my personal life, I never experienced the love of a dad. And when I came here, they showed me what it is to be a dad to your son.
The interviewer asked him, where would these kids be if they weren't in Bulimbu? And without hesitation, he said dead, all of them. They're literally saved their lives, and they literally will have a hope and a future.
Bulimbu really is an orphanage, but it is being done different.
Bulimbu is a place of hope. Bulimbu is a place where children come and are given a second chance for life.
It is really an orphanage where we are focusing on business sustainability and sustainability from the business to be able to fund the orphan care.
Bulimbu has an audacious vision of being sustainable. We've got numerous enterprises which produce income, and that income is fed back into the childcare program.
When people come to Bulimbu and they see the awesome power of God and what He's doing here, number one, they realize that all they can bring is their obedience.
There's no blueprint to bringing sustainability and childcare into a third world setting. What that has taught me personally is a sincere, deep dependence on God and our relationship with God.
God did not create children to be hungry. He didn't create children to be neglected, to be abused. So when the children come in, this is a crucial element in their healing, is we believe by giving them Christ, that's the cement, and that's what builds them back together.
Somebody gets involved in Bulimbu, they can know that they have saved that child's life, number one.
And just like the broken buildings in Bulimbu, the children are being put back together brick by brick.
And really the root of the transformation is definitely hope.
Even if you came to Bulimbu without hope, you will have hope because the people are loving and the people are encouraging and the people are just amazing.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our show. My name is Jerry Bowman. I'm the CEO of Partners in Action, and we're just excited tonight to be able to, number one, share some great music, some phenomenal talent, many of which you've heard of and enjoyed their music for many years. And we're also going to be able to share our story about what we're doing to impact people around the world that live in extreme poverty. And we're really excited about how we're going about that. And I'd like to introduce my friend here, our Executive Director, Joshua Ward, and let him tell you a little bit about what we call our Poverty Lab.
Thanks, Jerry, and thank you so much for tuning in tonight with us. We're excited for this evening's events. We want you to know before the show even starts what the Poverty Lab is. About 3 years ago, Partners in Action started to hone and refocus our efforts in raising people out of poverty for good. The methodology that we came up with is this idea of empowering local entrepreneurs to run their own businesses, whether that's in agriculture or industry, to not only sustain and support their own families to move from being in extreme poverty or even starvation to food secure and then marketable, but for the entire community to follow in the same line as their family grows. So that's what the Poverty Lab means to us. It's about having more than just a heart for the poor. It's about having a mind for the poor too, and empowering intelligent design businesses.
Great, let's get this show started.
Kick back and enjoy. The show starts right now.
Imagine a world where a community in need of clean water brings clean water to the entire region. Imagine how that singular solution, clean water, creates jobs, sustainable jobs, jobs that begin to infuse hope, hope for social and economic sustainability. Imagine how that same solution gives women and children their lives back, as they no longer have to carry 5-gallon drums 3 miles to the river twice a day. This is hope for a better tomorrow for some of the world's most vulnerable. Hope for lifting people out of extreme poverty for good. One community, one solution at a time. We did. And today, we create economic opportunities in some of the poorest areas of the world. Areas where people live on little more than $1 a day. Focused on water, agriculture, education, and finance, our market-based approach awakens entrepreneurship while delivering transformative goods and services to those who need them most. Goods and services produced, harvested, and financed locally. Since 1986, Partners in Action has served those in need in 30-plus countries across 5 continents. Bearing witness to how little the impact billions of dollars in aid has made, we vowed to find a better way. Today, we are in communities in Zambia, where we work with local farmers to create a path to food and income security. Communities in Uganda, where we are building schools, orphan care, and training medical staff. And communities in Nigeria, where we are training organic farmers and locally producing much-needed shoes. We are in Eswatini, where in 2006 we purchased an abandoned, overgrown mining town. Today, nearly 500 orphans have called Bulembu home. This is a private town centered around orphan care and empowered by sustainable businesses. Once a ghost town, today, Bulembu has a thriving Christian church and school, a health clinic, a commercial bakery, and a general store, along with 7 enterprises. A honey processing plant, a sawmill, a lodge, a restaurant, a dairy operation, and an artisan spring water bottling facility. And now, an up-and-coming essential oils plantation. As each enterprise becomes more sustainable, Bulembu becomes that much more self-efficient, securing the future of every child in our care and the families of the many adults that have found employment in our businesses. While we have begun delivering on our vision of a world without poverty, we can't do it without you, and certainly not today. With COVID-19 rampant in every African nation, unemployment is reaching new heights, creating more poverty. Those in extreme poverty are only suffering more, with far less access to the basic essentials of food, water, shelter, and medical care. Please become a partner in action today. Learn about the difference a few dollars and a little imagination can make. Donate now, and together we can save a life, feed a child, create a business, and help end poverty for good.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host for this evening's event, Subin Novell.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, David and David, for that incredible opening. You just heard from the Grammy-nominated jazz keyboardist and composer David Benoit, a legendary pioneer in the smooth jazz format, and David Pack, legendary 70s and 80s band Ambrosia founder, lead singer, and Grammy-winning producer. David and his right-hand man, Russell Weiner, our video producer and audio engineer, have produced all of these amazing videos tonight for your enjoyment. There is so much more to come this evening. This is a one-of-a-kind private concert with an incredible lineup and our musical legends you don't want to miss. Tonight, we are truly here to celebrate with you the incredible journey of Jerry Bowman and his journey with Partners in Action. We will also share with you for the next hour how we can all rise up from poverty. You also met earlier in the opening clip for Partners in Action the incoming Executive Director, Joshua Ward. We will hear more from both of these gentlemen later this evening. Partners in Action is a Phoenix-based nonprofit that has spent the last 33 years serving underserved communities around the world. After helping run and fund over 75 different projects in 30 countries, Partners in Action have honed their focus to raising children and families out of poverty for good. Tonight, as we mentioned, we are raising funds through this benefit concert to help fund projects in Nigeria, Zambia, Uganda, Eswatini, and rural communities in regions of Mexico. In these communities, Partners in Action engages in programs that include orphan care, education, food security, and sustainable economic development. Through these programs, Partners in Action reaches out to communities in need, more now than ever because as a result of the COVID pandemic. Before we go any further, we want to thank our sponsors, Pro One Media, who have created the entire show's production and are streaming the concert live tonight. We also would like to thank Ander for their investment in the mission of Partners in Action. As you are getting settled in and we are getting started, let me go over some helpful hints for this evening's show. Tonight will be a 2-device event. We want you to be as comfortable as possible while you're enjoying tonight's program. So please, be sure to have your phone in your hand while you stream from your TV or your laptop. Also, make sure you have your favorite beverage, and we are doing a fundraiser, so you want to have your wallet right next to you. Tonight, we invite you to participate with us by texting Partners to 24365. So that should be easy because 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, Partners in Action is making a difference in the lives of people across the globe. So text to give or log on to our website, partnersinaction.org. One more little house cleaning. Please enjoy the event, but please don't copy or capture the filming of our screen, posting it to social media or the web, or rebroadcasting of any kind is strictly forbidden without the written permission of copyright owners. Tonight will be full of many musical surprises, but before I introduce our first musical set, I would like to tell you how Partners in Action is making an impact through sustainable economic development, power, and water. Partners in Action has 10 sustainability businesses in operation. We also have 4 wells. Your support tonight will make a difference in the lives of many people in several ways. Partners in Action helps by teaching people how to provide for themselves and their community. Here's some examples of what your donations can do. $25,000 enables a village to rise out of poverty through agriculture. $1,000 provides food security for 8 people. $250 gives a family the seeds and fertilizer for this year's crops. As you can see, Partners in Action believes in asset-based community development. Now is the time for a little fun as we get ready to take a trip down memory lane. So sit, stand, dance, find your sweetheart, hold hands, sing along, enjoy the night with us as we see some of the biggest hits from the 70s, the 80s, and now. Our first performance will come from Grammy-winning artist, songwriter, and our iconic voice of our generation, Michael McDonald. Here tonight with his wife, Amy, they will perform a song Michael wrote called I Stand For You. The key message of the song is, one voice isn't strong enough, one heart just won't do. In this world, I don't stand for much unless I stand for you. Next, we will have co-founder of 80s band Survivor and 70s group Ides of March, Jim Peterick. Jim has written 20 #1 hits, not only for Survivor, but bands like 38 Special and the Beach Boys. His first #1 hit in the early 70s was Vehicle by Ides of March. Jim wrote and sang, and tonight he has recorded a brand new version to help the world's poorest to rise up from poverty. And our last performance of the set will feature legendary artist, producer, engineer Alan Parsons and David Pack. Grammy nominee Alan Parsons started off at Abbey Road Studio, known for engineering Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon and working with the Beatles. Alan then came to America in the mid-70s to work with Ambrosia. David Pack is tonight's music director and producer. David is known globally as a writer and a singer of many #1 hits by the legendary rock band Ambrosia. Please welcome Michael and Amy McDonald, Jim Peterick, Alan Parsons, and David Pack.
It's great to be here tonight, if only virtually, to make music with our friends, for all of you. I want to thank you for attending, and we wish you many more years to come of the great work you do. And my wife Amy's going to join me on a song right now, a song that seems appropriate for the times, entitled I Stand For You.
No greater power, no greater gift to lose than the message unspoken or the silence of the truth. Alone, we hide in the shadows. Together, we bring on the light. One voice is not strong enough. One heart just won't do. In this world, I don't count for much unless I stand for you. I'm standing unless I stand for you. Standing. Cause we are the beginning of a sound that might be heard. To the many who lie waiting on words, break the cold wind of silence, and together we bring on the light. One voice is not strong enough. One heart just won't do. In this world, I don't count for much unless I stand for you. One choice is all we got. One fact remains true. In this world, I don't count for much unless I stand for you. Not another minute, not another hour. We're gonna rise on up, every man, woman, and child. Believe that the time has come. I believe that the time has come. I believe that the time has come. I stand for you, Stanley. 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 Oh, I stand for you, I'm Stanley. 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 Oh, no, no, baby.
Thank you.
I got pictures, got candy, I'm a lovable man.
such a kind girl. Seems so hard to find. Someday when we're dreaming, deep in love, not a lot to say, then we will remember things we said today. Me, I'm just the lucky kind. Love to hear you say that love is love. Though we may be blind, love is here to stay, and that's enough to make you mine, girl. Be the only one. Love me all the time, girl. We'll go on and on. Someday when we're dreaming, deep in love, not a lot to say, then we will remember things we said today. Me, I'm just the lucky kind. Love to hear you say that love is love. I know we may be blind. Love is here to stay, and that's enough to make you mine, girl. Be the only one. Love me all the time, girl. We'll go on and on. Someday when we're dreaming, deep in love, not a lot to say, then we will remember things we said today. Things we said today. Remember the things we said today.
Well, that was an opening. We are in for a lot more musical talent throughout the evening, so stay tuned and get ready for an amazing night of entertainment. While you are enjoying tonight's private concert, please remember that we are here to support a great cause and work together to end poverty. This is how you can support us tonight. We've made it so easy for you to partner with us. All you have to do is text partners to 24365. That's 24365, or of course, visit our website, partnersinaction.org. Tonight, our goal is to help families rise up from poverty, and we will all be part of the solution together. Now, I would like to share more with you on how Partners in Action is making a difference in orphan care and education. Partners in Action is currently providing care for 930 children worldwide, and the total amount of people receiving education and training is approximately 1,300. Raising a child and providing education and training comes at a cost. Here's a few examples of how your donations tonight can make a difference. It costs approximately $8,000 to build a home for 6 children, and this will change the course of a child's life. Providing a fully equipped classroom will cost about $5,000. $1,500 supports a caregiver for an entire year, and $360 will provide a child with all the books they need for an entire school year. $100 a month will place 2 orphan children in our boarding school in Uganda. So remember, your donations are making a difference to Partners in Action. We need you so that we can go out into the world and make a difference. Now, it's time to enjoy our second set of classic hits. First in our lineup for this set is legendary voice and writer of globally iconic 80s band Mr. Mister. Richard Page contributes an intimate new version of the 60s Dusty Springfield hit song, Put a Little Love in Your Heart, to add his voice of hope during a time in a pandemic, reminding us again of the power of love to unite us all no matter what we're going through. Next, let me introduce you to the most globally renowned and successful contemporary Christian artist of our time, Michael W. Smith. He will perform a new version of a song written by Nigerian gospel writer Sinach, Waymaker, with his band that includes his singer Vanessa Campagna. Now, there are waymakers in the world today, like Jerry and Jean Bowman, who silently work behind the scenes to help the world's most in need. Tonight's message to help families and children rise up from poverty. Please welcome Richard Page and Michael W. Smith.
2, 3, 4. Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand, put a little love in your heart. I know it's getting late, please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Another day goes by, still the children cry, put a little love in your heart. If you want the world to know we won't let hatred grow, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. Yeah, the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and you see. Take a good look around, and if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide, kindness will be your guide, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. Yeah, the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait, yeah, you see, put a little love in your heart. Yeah, put a little love in your heart. We got to put a little love in our hearts. Can we put a little love in our hearts?
What an honor to be a part of this event tonight. I mean, how amazing is this? So good. We all know what the word says about serving the least of these. And the work you and your foundation are doing is just awesome. I applaud you on every level. Children, the least of these, children who have no resources or network of help, are being blessed physically and spiritually through your efforts. And I'm proud to be a part of Rise Up. And when I saw the lineup for tonight's show, I thought, gosh, I just can't phone this thing in. I gotta pull something out of the bag. So I did. So in true 2020 fashion, here's a song that I was able to pull together with my band in all different places.
You are here, moving in our midst. I worship
worship you. I worship you. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Come on, Vanessa.
You are here, touching every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, you're turning lives around. I worship you. Oh, I worship you. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. 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 Even when I can't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I can't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I can't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. 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 Yes, you're a way maker. Yeah, that is who you are.
Wasn't that incredible? And how amazing is it that you're able to enjoy this private concert from the comfort of your home? We hope you're having a great time. Ladies and gentlemen, now the time has come where we would like to honor and recognize Jerry Bowman, our leader at Partners in Action for the past 8 years. Spending most of his adult life in Phoenix, Jerry is an incredibly well-known man in the Valley and a proud family man. His positive nature and unwavering optimism has been a source of strength to many in their time of need. Over the past 8 years, Jerry has transformed Partners in Action's methodology of impact, creating the Poverty Lab. Join us now in honoring Jerry Bowman.
He's a mentor, he's a strong man of faith, and a good leader.
Because to me, he represents that unique blend of entrepreneur and with a charitable heart.
He is full of compassion.
He always has a big heart, and he always wants to take care of everybody.
You may have heard me say, I'm not this was not what I had in mind, but this was God's plan. I had launched another company, a software company. We were 2 years into it. When my friend shared his idea with me, I did what all strong men do, and I said, I need to go home and talk to my wife. Of course, I went home and I sat down and I started talking to her, and 60 seconds into it, she started crying and said, this is exactly what you need to do.
And I didn't know what to say. It was just the perfect thing for Jerry. I said, you've got to do it. Now, of course, I had no job. I had just retired, and you don't make a whole lot of money running a nonprofit. It all came together in such a way where I ended up going back to work for 4 more years in a technology position so that Jerry could start at Partners in Action.
Jerry's always been a big thinker in industry and with PIA. He has just kind of out of this world ideas that you think are completely nuts until you see them actually take form, and it's wonderful to watch happen.
When Jerry started at Partners in Action, its focus was pretty narrow, and Jerry's vision was so different. Jerry's vision was to really show the kind of impact that Partners in Action could have.
So when I think about Jerry, I just get instantly exhausted, because Jerry is this boundless ball of energy. He is a visionary who just can't stop thinking of new ideas.
If there's been a theme through the projects I've observed, it's been this idea that we really need to change lives by changing skill sets and changing attitudes.
Help them help themselves. People say, teach a man to fish. We say, teach a man to open a fish door. And when you do that, and again, they have all the capability in the world. You just give them a little bit of hope and they run with it. But what we want to do is we are creating something that we believe will be a long-term solution to actually eliminating extreme poverty for good.
Really, from anyone you talk to about him, he's a fantastic businessman. That's become central to who PIA is, Partners in Action is, and it really is central to who Bulembu is as an organization, what Bulembu means. Bulembu is this town that is filled with businesses that are established to fund the childcare. And that's central to Jerry's leadership. That's central to our fundamental belief of how we can radically transform lives in sub-Saharan Africa.
He will try anything. He'll explore anything. He'll look for every opportunity and really try to promote getting the right people and doing the right things to help other people.
I saw him in numerous situations where he had choices that were equally easy, roads to go down, the high road or the low road or the middle road, and Jerry always takes the high road.
He is a man of incredible faith. That is something that I have marveled at, even in the face of a lot of hardship, both personally and as the organization has kind of evolved through this transition. He has remained faithful to the purpose.
Is because Jerry is always there to lift other people up. He's always there to help other people out and help them to see the path, the light, and the way.
You know, what motivates me, first of all, like I said, I don't think I was ever going to be this guy, and God had a different plan. As my life has progressed, the things that have become important to me have changed. And then once I had an opportunity to get involved in serving others, that was really transformational.
His heart to help people through his connections is amazing. And I hope one day I will be both as connected, but as sincerely hearted with those connections as Jerry is.
To me, Jerry's legacy is just the fact that he hasn't done anything to draw notice to himself. He's done it to draw notice to others.
I think his legacy is going to be bigger than Partners in Action. Jerry is going to be looked back on as more of, as one of the more innovative and impactful Christian leaders in this community. And I think that that his legacy is intact. And I don't think that his entire impact on the Christian community is going to be felt for still many years to come.
Brother Jerry, let me just say personally to you, I love you. You have been, for me, a great brother, a sustainer, an example of a man of faith and kingdom mindedness. And from the bottom of my heart, I just thank you for that.
Hey everyone, and welcome back. And I am sitting with the man of the hour, Jerry Bowman. We're so happy to honor you here tonight for all the incredible work that you've done with Partners in Action.
I thank you. I thank, all the people that have been involved. This is, it's been amazing. So I guess just thanks.
Well, we're glad to have you. I just have a couple of questions for you. If you can share with us what one of your most memorable moments have been while you've been with Partners in Action.
Yeah, so this might be a little different than what people might think I would say. I'm in Kigali, Rwanda, visiting some kids there that live in a pretty tough slum, and we get them into school, and they do great, and it's a wonderful program. And when I was there at one time, the kids wanted me to go meet with their moms, so we went. And one in particular, the short little lady, 4 of the kids that we took care of was hers, and so she invited me to go in her little kind of cave, and went in there for a little bit, then came out, and our translator said to me kind of off the side, he said, she prostitutes herself for 50 cents a night so that she can earn $15 a month to pay for the cave they live in. So I had $100 worth of Rwandan money. So I gave it to David, and I said, David, would you give this to her and just tell her to stay off the street as long as she can?
Right.
2 weeks later, I got a picture from David. There she was, with a picture holding the leash of a goat. She'd used $50 to buy the goat, won the Super Bowl because the goat was pregnant.
Right.
And the other $50 she kept, and they said she would be able to sustain herself from that point on.
Wow.
So why do I love that story? Because, sometimes God just puts things in our path, when we're not expecting it.
Absolutely.
But then, he also gives us the right things to do at the right time. So.
Right, absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that story.
Yeah.
We know you have many stories to share. We had to limit you at one, but
it's brutal. It's brutal.
I do want to know if you have any words for the incoming Executive Director, Joshua Ward.
So Joshua, first of all, let me just say, my having to leave this year was rather sudden. Obviously, for those of you who know, I've had some pretty significant health problems, and appreciate all the prayers. And Joshua he, as God would have it, he had come on the scene and was already doing some stuff with us around Bulimbu. And then when the time happened, and he was just ready to jump in, and what a blessing. And so my advice to Joshua, man, just be you.
Right.
He's fantastic. It makes me feel so much better knowing that that this thing is going to continue and certainly be better than I ever hoped. So just be yourself. Take care of your wife. You're working too hard, Joshua. I promise your wife I'd say that. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Great. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you being here with us tonight, and it's such a pleasure to get to know you more. So.
Yeah, well, thank you. And I just want to say lastly, thank you for all the people that shared your testimonials. When you decide to do something like what we do, the support like that is unbelievable. It's so important that we have the encouragement and prayers of people. So, and what a blessing. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes, of course. And we'll hear from Joshua a little bit later in the show. But now we want to welcome back David Benoit as he performs his most globally beloved song he wrote with his wife, Key.
Hello, I'm David Benoit, and I just want to thank PIA and Jerry Bowman for helping
Good
lift
job.
the world's
You did
most
great.
vulnerable out of poverty.
Congratulations, Jerry and Jean, and thank you again for all of the outstanding work you have done for the lives of so many people, and thank you, David and Key, for sharing this beautiful moment. Well, before we continue our evening with our musical legends, please remember that you can support Partners in Action tonight by texting Partners to 24365 or going directly to our website. Remember, your donations make a difference. $1 to $1 million, every dollar will make a difference. So Partners in Action can go into the Africa and the different nations to make a difference in these people's lives. All right. We would like to congratulate our next musical guest, music legend Michael McDonald, on your recent induction for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with the Doobie Brothers. Tonight, Michael and David Pack will be performing the song Our Love, which they wrote together in the 80s. They will be accompanied by globally beloved Cuban percussionist Luis Conte. Our next legendary performer in this set is Richard Page. He wrote the #1 smash hit Broken Wings in the 80s. For this event, David, with Richard's blessing, created a new jazzy symphonic arrangement as a duet with David Benoit. The message, "Take these broken wings and learn to fly again," is the message of tonight's Rise Up from Poverty for families whose lives we touch.
Lost and lonely life, floating like waves at sea. We make it day by day, watching the world go by. In a moment where time stands still, from here we look out on forever, darling, our love. One love that never fades away. Our love, this love will light the world on its way. Shattered, broken dream, sifting like grains of sand. But we claim it, here we'll stay, watching the world go by. Watching the world go by. And with the strength that we share in this life, in the hope that it goes on forever, we believe and we promise to try, darling, our love. One love that never fades away. Our love. strength in a hope that goes on forever. With the hope we believe that we promise to try. Darling, our love, one love that never fades away. Our love, this love will light the world on its way. Our love, our love.
Our love will never fade away. 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 One love that never fades away. One love that never fades away. One love that never fades away.
Thanks so much for inviting me to be part of this tonight. I'm so happy and thrilled to be here. And thank you, Jerry, for the great work you've done for decades with Partners in Action to help the most vulnerable in Africa and to lift them from their poverty and bring hope to so many people, especially now during this terrible pandemic. Thanks again for having me, and lots of love to everyone.
Baby, don't understand why we can't just hold on to each other's hands. This time might be the last, I fear, unless I make it all too clear. I need you so. Take these broken wings and learn to fly again, learn to live so free. And when we hear the voices sing, the book of love will open up and let us in. Take these broken wings. Baby, I think tonight we can take what was wrong and make it right.
That was so great. Thank you to our extraordinary musicians. Partners in Action provides food security for 3,200 people, which equates to over 1 million emergency meals annually. Partners in Action also provides spiritual support to 19 churches and 10 Christian schools. $3,500 will put a child into a loving Christian home for 1 year. $2,500 will provide water to a community in Nigeria, and $1,000 will give 4,000 emergency meals to families. So again, your donations are allowing Partners in Action to make a difference in the lives of people across the globe. Our next story is an inspiring tale of tremendous strength and courage. "Lord Have Mercy on This Boy" was the title of an article posted in the Times of Swaziland, a local newspaper describing the atrocious situation this 11-year-old boy had been left to live in. Cerebral palsy was the cause of France's isolation. In a culture that views medical challenges and diseases as an embodiment of ancestral curses, being born with physical or mental challenges can be a death sentence. After living outside with the dogs, competing with animals for food, and only having a dirty blanket to see him through the winters, France had been left to die. In his stepmother's own words, she was just waiting for God to decide France's fate. Little did France know, but his fate had been changed from a life of neglect, abuse, and starvation to a life of joy, warmth, and hope, because he was about to receive a loving family. In 2009, social welfare brought a malnourished, fearful, mute France into our care. Bundled in love and surrounded by his new family, we sought out medical treatment and care for France. Leaving his old life of trauma behind, France was given the name Mandla, which means strength. Mandla's strength could not only be seen in his sheer determination to survive against all odds, but it was evidenced in his swift and radical transformation as his overwhelming desire for a better life took over. When Mandla arrived, his knees were locked to his chest in the fetal position. He could not feed himself because he had always eaten with the dogs, and he was unable to make a sound. 1 month later, the social welfare officer returned to Mandla's new home and sat at the dinner table while the children sat politely eating. Amidst joyous noise, the foster mother and social welfare officer discussed Mandla's tremendous healing. After dinner, the social welfare officer asked if she could now see Mandla, assuming that he must have been cared for in a separate room. Through tears in her eyes, the mother looked at her and said, "He's sitting right next to you." Today, Mandla has not yet recovered his speech, but he is one of the most joyful young men we get to call our own. We thought he would never walk. Today, he's dancing lights up the room. We wondered if we'd ever see him smile, and today his laugh can be heard across the room. Tonight is all about celebration of victories, but we need so many more victories like Mandla to make a difference. So please donate, and remember, every dollar you give allows us to make not only a difference in the lives of people like Mandla, but it also helps us to make a change in communities by creating sustainability for generations. Now, it's time to welcome back our next group of musical legends to honor Mandla and stories just like his. You know, Partners in Action, there's so many amazing stories. We wish we could share them all with you, but we can't. So in our final musical set for the night, please welcome back David Pack, followed by CeCe Winans. CeCe is considered the greatest gospel artist alive. The beloved Grammy and Dove award-winning CeCe Winans will bless us all with this new incredible performance of He Never Failed Me Yet by Robert Ray. And finally, closing our musical event tonight with a message of strength by faith is again the rock legend Jim Peterick together with David Pack. They remade Eye of the Tiger with the message that We may enter trials in life feeling weak, but with a mighty faith, we can come out stronger in the end. Tonight, we will help continue our mission to reach out and help people rise up from poverty.
My shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He restores my soul. Leads me beside still water and leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. For his name's sake, I shall not want. Yeah, though I walk of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. The Lord shall not want. Ooh, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head
I am so proud to join my good friend David Pack and so many others in supporting Rise Up from Poverty. Imagine right now, there is a child living in conditions beyond what we can even imagine, whose life will be impacted by your generosity tonight. The work David and Stacy are doing is in a part of the world where there aren't social service agencies. There aren't relief organizations. Even the local church doesn't have the financial resources to help in the way they would like to. That's where you and I step in. I hope you'll join me and let's each do our part and rise up from poverty. God bless you. I hope you enjoy this song. When I was a child, I did childish things. My life was church and all it brings. I'd always hear the old folks sing, He's never failed me yet. I heard this phrase and I trusted so that one day I would come to know the truth in which these words do hold. He's never failed me yet. Isn't that good news? With years of life came tests and trials, and nights when tears replaced the smiles. Though God was right there all the while, my soul was not at rest. But I lived to tell that I made it through. So instead of singing about the blues, I bring you news to encourage you. He's never failed me yet. When clouds and the valleys come, set your eyes on the risen sun. Pray the eyes of your heart be filled with love, and watch the blessed day break the night. Like the 3 Hebrew boys that day, all forced to take their faith to flames, I too have had the choice to break and serve the world instead. But I stood on the word and did not bow, endured the steps the Lord allowed, came out stronger, shouting while God's never failed me yet. God is not like men who lie, nor like the son of men who die. His truth will always be alive, it never will be dead. So try it for yourself and see, those who believe they shall receive. I pray the day you too can sing, He's never failed me yet. Can you help me? Can you sing it? He's never failed me yet. I'm thankful for those simple words that I so often overheard. Though many memories drift like birds, some still I can't forget. They come back ringing right on time, like bells so heavenly they chime. That old time phrase, now mine, oh mine, He's never failed me yet. Come on and put those hands together. He's never failed me, and I'm so grateful. He's never failed me yet. Hallelujah. He's never failed me. He's never failed me yet. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful.
Hey everybody, Jim Peterick here. I want to thank Jerry Bowman for decades of help to the world's most vulnerable, the children and families of Africa. He and his wife Jean have traveled into the land of 1 million orphans to save lives, rebuild communities, teach the poorest how to grow crops and make a living, all as a sacrificial act of love based on the convictions of their faith. We need more like you today, especially during a global pandemic when the misery index could hardly be any higher. We salute you, Jerry, and the continuing work of partnersinaction.org in the days ahead. As they say, the lion is king of Africa, but truly it's you who have the eye of the tiger.
Rising up, back on the street. I did my time, took my chances. With the distance, now I'm back on my feet. Just a man and his will to survive.
So many times it happens too fast. You trade your passion for glory. Don't lose your grip on the dreams of your past. You must fight just to keep them alive.
It's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight. Rising up to the challenge of our rival. And the last known survivor stalks his prey in the night. And he's watching us all with the eye of the tiger. Face to face, out in the heat, hanging tough, staying hungry.
They stack the odds till we take to the street for the kill with the skill to survive.
It's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight. Rising up to the challenge of our rival. And the last known survivor stalks his prey in the night. And he's watching us all with the eye of the tiger.
Rising up, straight to the top. I have the guts, got the glory.
With the distance, now I'm not gonna stop. Just a man and his will to survive. It's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight. Rising up to the challenge of our rival. And the last known survivor stalks his prey in the night. And he's watching us all with the eye of the tiger.
Eye of the tiger. Oh,
The eye of the tiger.
the eye of the tiger.
You're in the eye of the tiger.
You got the eye of the tiger.
You got the eye of the tiger.
My eye is on you. My eye is on you. Gotta keep rising up.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your incredible giving tonight. Please continue to text in your donations. We really appreciate all you have given so far and are so grateful to partner with you in making a positive impact in the world. Now, to close our evening, please welcome the incoming Executive Director of Partners in Action, Joshua Ward. Joshua is a third-generation Swazi born to Helen and Kevin Ward, founders of Challenge Ministries Swaziland and Bulembu. In the Ward family, ministry was never forced, but each one of them have chosen to devote their lives to serving those in need. Living on the front lines, Joshua learned very early on that every single person you help is an opportunity to forever better their lives. Joshua moved to the United States for university, where he met his beautiful wife, Caroline. After graduating with a degree in business finance, he spent time in the corporate world, but it did not take long before his ties to the ministry in Swaziland brought him back to full-time missions work. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Joshua Ward.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Wasn't Subin amazing? Subin, well done. You have led the show fantastically. Ladies and gentlemen, before we finish the night, I want to communicate to you that as we continue to raise children and families out of poverty for good, it's so easy to get caught up on the business model side of creating these sustainable economies for poverty-stricken communities. But at the center of what we do is why we do it. And you already know that extreme poverty is a death sentence for many of those whose only crime is being born into a nation that live below the poverty line. But the biggest catastrophe of it all is not actually the dollar amount that an individual lives on or even under. It's the loss of human dignity, the loss of hope as a result of extreme poverty. We've spent years looking after children who have been sold into sex slavery simply because their families did not have enough money to look after them. It's this loss of human dignity, this loss of hope for a way out, that causes the deepest scars in humanity. So, if there ever were a question of why we're so passionate about enabling communities to create a sustainable economy, it's simply because we believe that food and income security restore human dignity and gives complete rise to hope. It's on this platform of hope that we're able to share the effective gospel. We believe in empowering community members to help fellow communities rise up from poverty. Leviticus 19 shows us this ancient story of God's command to the Israelite farmers when they were told to leave the corner of the fields for those who were either in poverty or sojourners in the land. So tonight, as you have proverbially left the corners of your field to the poor through your donations to Partners in Action, please know that we are committed to investing those donations in the lives of hundreds of others who will in turn be empowered to leave the corners of their field for the poor in their community. We've made a lot of progress over the last 33 years of Partners in Action, and we have a lot more work to do, and I'm honored to be a new part of your team. Thank you to all who have given tonight. Your faithful generosity has been overwhelming tonight. Thank you for truly being a partner in action. So tonight, so much has been said about Jerry Bowman. And chances are, if you're tuning into this, you know how truly incredible this man is. To wrap up this wonderful evening, we have a special gift from David Pack and Russell Weiner to Jerry Bowman as a tribute to his impact. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great rest of your evening. Thank you again for your generosity. David Pack, Russell Weiner, and the rest of the team, thank you for tonight.
Hello. You know, there are many unsung heroes in this world. Tonight I want to honor one of them, my friend and personal hero and mentor. Jerry Bowman has been the CEO of Partners in Action for almost 2 decades. He's that authentic man who lives his faith, who, along with his wife Jean, relentlessly put their own self-interest aside to help the world's poorest in Africa in order to rise up from poverty. He is the living example of a man who found his life's purpose and put the whole of his being into pursuing it. I want to be more like you. Who else would give up a successful business career to spend the rest of their life combating poverty? Jerry, you did. Like Rick Warren's purpose-driven life book says, your credo is it's not about you. That is what is so inspirational. Thank you, Jerry, for a life well lived. Tonight, you're no longer an unsung hero because we are singing to salute you, to help raise funds, to keep Partners in Action going for many, many years. You know, you may not be flying to Africa anymore, young man, but I know God's not through with you yet. Thank you, Jerry. Together, we will help those who need it the most rise up from poverty for good. Thank you.